Are y'all ready to get this started?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Sit your ass down and get ready for the next episode of the Urban Green Room.
The Urban Green Room.
With your hosts, my girl AA and that dude D. Lewis.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Urban Green Room. It's your girl AA.
It's D. Lewis.
And joining us tonight, so I always say this, I'm excited because one, we got a very hot topic that we need to discuss, and then two, I got two really important people joining us for this conversation today. So everybody give it up to my girl Shannon G. If you don't know who she is and you're an independent author, something's wrong with you, because this is the girl with the hookup. She does and helps in amazing ways. I'm not going to take anything from her. I'm going to let you tell everybody what it is that you actually do within the arts community. So Shannon, introduce yourself to the world.
All right, I'm Shannon. Mostly everybody know me as Shan G. I am a book promoter and an avid reader. Basically what I do to help out the independent, well, really any author in the literary world, is I would take their book and basically just assist them in getting it out there, building their fan base. And I also read and review their books too. And I'm actually working on starting up my YouTube page to where I can do live video reviews. So that's really just all I do.
No, that's not just all you do. She had me on every book club, every page, the comments and the promotion that she did for me. I say I gained a whole fan base that I would not have had without her assistance. So if you don't know my girl Shannon G, you better know her. So we're gonna make sure that you know exactly how to stay in contact with her too by the end of the podcast, because we're gonna be posting some stuff on our webpage and social media too. So Shannon, thank you, because I know it was short notice when I hit you up to join us. So I do appreciate you being here for us.
Yeah, no problem.
We have
like no other, Wally Sliz Jennings is in the house. What up, Sliz?
What's good, Melodious?
The world.
Happy to be here.
So, okay, you heard them introduce each other. First of all, Walter Jennings is like Daryl's brother. Wait a minute. First of all, y'all probably are brothers. Y'all best friends. Y'all been knowing each other since when?
We've been rocking since preteen years. We go way, way back. Grew up together. And that's actually how we used to identify ourselves to the world. We still to this day introduce ourselves as brothers. And
yeah, for sure. No lie.
We fam forever. So this is my man, my mellow, my ace, and he joining me on this journey right now to talk to you motherfuckers out there about oral sex, because that's what we're getting into today. So let's just get to the shits. We done got the pleasantries out. Let's just get into the shit, ma.
Okay, so first of all, I gotta get some background on why we're talking about oral sex today. One, because we need to talk about it. Two, because Daryl and I read Head Doctor by my girl Avery Good, who's a really good friend of mine, and we have her coming up on the podcast too to discuss the book and this topic. But I have. There's so many stereotypes about oral sex. It's, in today's gender fluid world, who does what, who doesn't do it, why don't we do it? And I just thought, if we're gonna start having open, honest conversations, we're gonna start with this topic. So oral sex it is. And when I reached out to Walt, he was like, oh, hell yeah, we talking about this. Shannon replied real quick. Doing it. So here we are, oral sex. So I'm starting stuff. Listen, I'm starting. So my first is white versus black.
Oh shit. What's the question?
No, white versus black. Cause this is
who gives the best? What?
No, we could go who did the best, but I meant like,
By the question.
no, that's fine. No, we could do who do it the best. Who's more open to having or performing or open oral sex? Like, I want to talk about it, and I'm gonna start with Walt, just because I ain't seen you in a long time. So, like, Walt, white or black? Like, is there a preference to who does it for you? Like, do you have an opinion about who do it best?
As a man in today's world, I would be crucified if I said one did something better than the other, and I would be lying to you and myself, and to whoever's listening, if I said somebody do something better than the other. White girls are definitely more open to doing it. It's really like foreplay to them. Sisters are, that's gonna take some work, and I don't know why. I don't know why it's gotta be so difficult. I mean, like, come on, sisters, love yourselves and love me in the process. Like, there shouldn't be no discussion. Really, it shouldn't.
Okay. I okay. So there's parts of that I agree with. We're gonna come back to you, Walt. Shannon, I gotta know, sis. Like, white or black? Have you
I
been
don't.
in the vanilla pool before and had it?
Mm-mm. No, ma'am, I have not. I
Okay.
mean, I'm not knocking anything against it, but I haven't, so I can't really just answer that one.
Okay. So, like, Mr. D, what's up?
What?
Preference?
I do not have a preference.
White or black?
What do you mean? You.
So I'm wondering.
What
But
happened?
no, seriously. Like, there was a life before me.
Look, all right. So I think white girls do it. They do it. Like, there's no question about it. It's part of regular sex to them. Sisters, historically speaking, now we got to go way back for that. But so back then, it seemed like oral sex was taboo in the black community to begin with anyway. You know what I'm saying? So dudes was like, nah, I ain't need no pussy and all that stuff. Going back to the 90s, when we was growing up, that's what niggas used to be like, nah, you know, and it was the same for ladies. You know what I mean? So I think we still carry that through to today. So I would have to say it. I agree with Sliz. It take work sometimes to get the head you want from
The
the.
head you need. Don't say want, because it's not a want. It's a necessity. At least it is.
I'm with.
For me, like
So
that has to happen,
let me
and
say
on a
something.
regular basis as well. Let's get that out there too.
So, D, you said going back to the 90s. I happen to know for a fact in the 90s, like, I was getting treated well. And I don't know the guys who were saying they don't do it, but it was getting done.
Was also dating older guys in the 90s. Once we hit a certain age, we began to realize that was the shit. And shit, get,
Around with glow.
Listen,
I was like haloing it because, like, I don't know what's going on, but the glow from the after effects, I was like, oh, this is the real deal, and I want this, like, all the time.
right. And can I say something real fast?
Liz,
Like, just to touch on what D was saying or is saying. Eazy-E in one of his joints, he said, I may be a woman beater, but I'm not a pussy eater.
Yep.
So, and we grew up listening to this stuff, and those dudes were gods to us. We wasn't eating no pussy. And I remember exactly when I decided to take that plunge, when it was right after Martin had did You So Crazy. And he was talking about you can't beat the reaction. You can't beat the reaction. And, you know, I was conflicted because it was like, man, well, here's this dude from N Double talking about, you know, I ain't no pussy eater. Call me what you want. And then there's Martin, the hottest comedian on the planet, saying, hey, y'all need to do this. So I was conflicted. And then when I did it, I realized that Easy E was full of shit. So there you go.
So, yo, so everybody answered this question but you, Miss AA. So give it to us, black or white, nigga, because you ain't just gonna be asking questions and getting us out there, and you ain't, nah, hell nah. So give it to us.
Okay, so white boys do tend to go down a whole lot easier.
But you almost crucified us on that.
No, I didn't. What I said was we were going to be honest. So I was just looking. Listen, there. Everybody has a history. What I'm saying is, white boys. It's part, like you guys said, it's part of what they do. It's almost not even there. It's almost an expectation of sex with them. It's before. It's not even, you know, it's not in the middle of sex. It's before it even happens. It's the foreplay to the actual sticking something in me. And half the time they didn't even want to do that. Like they were satisfied with that part. So I appreciated that. The willingness. No, the willingness. Because I was just like, if you wanna taste me, go ahead. I don't think we having sex, but you can taste me. But and I'll say this for later too, but the best, especially when black men came around to actually wanting to do it, it's to me always been the brothers. The easiest access, I'm gonna say, is white men or other races, but the best that I've had has always been from a black man.
Because we got the rhythm, shit.
Yeah, no, and once you got into it, like it wasn't so bad. Like you found your groove and you found that you actually did like the taste of women in that way. And you know, I think what Walt said, our reaction added to that, because that's like the applause without me actually clapping. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If and some other stuff happened, then you done did your job. Like that's your pat on the back. And if I fell asleep afterwards, you was like king, so you good.
Okay, so
Sweet.
they ask you, what about? Nah, I ain't gonna, because we're gonna get into that in a minute. Nope.
Okay, all right, fine. Don't ask. So,
Nope.
well, okay, personal hygiene though.
Oh shit.
It comes to sex.
Oh man.
No, because at
that has to be.
No, listen, wait a minute. One time I went to the doctor, and I had a male doctor, and I was young, and he was young, and you know, aside from being a gynecologist, like I thought he was a cool guy, so there was some flirting going on, and I had asked him one time, like, do you smell? Like you smell in between women's legs all day long. Like, is there an odor that comes from women? And he was like, it all smelled the same. And I refused to believe that. But then when I matured a little bit more, I became familiar with my own body's chemistry. So I know when I'm off. I'm wondering someone else who goes down there. Like I might not be off, but is there an off? Have you been down there sometime and it wasn't right? I mean, it was ripe, but it wasn't right. Like, and that's for men too. Because nothing is a bigger turn off than sweaty balls. So, like, person, what do you say to women? What do we say to men? Like, if you really want to be down there, there's some things you need to take care of. So, like, Shannon, like, you awfully quiet. What's going on?
No, I'm listening.
Gene, like, if a dude come be like, yo, ma, and you like he do you do him, and you go down and something ain't right. Like, how do you handle that? Like, what does it take for you to be comfortable enough to do that?
I'm sorry. If we're at that point to where I'm even considering doing that, I'm comfortable enough to be like, no, this ain't right. I gotta say something.
Wash him up then,
And he need to go handle that.
scissors, and you trim him so you don't be like gagging off.
Look, before I even get there, I'm checking all of that. If it's not right, I'm gonna have to tell you, look, we gotta handle this. And vice versa. I would expect someone to say the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was coming up, I learned a lot of sex shit from my uncles. And I still live by this rule. You know, he said this is what you do. You put your hand down there. You know, you put your hand down there and then you bring it up. And I was like, you taste it? He was like, nah, put it in her. Let her taste it. If she won't eat her own pussy, then you ain't eating that motherfucker. Yes. So if she can't eat pussy, I ain't tasting that shit. Period.
So, what, like,
Yeah.
personally, what do you do?
If it's, and I have to say, honestly, that hasn't happened to me often. It has happened to me, but when it has happened, like it's happened on 3 different occasions where I had to, I went to go dive in some loving, and I had to like
That bullshit.
I had to regroup. I mean, no lie, because
Did it knock you out?
no, it ain't knocked me out, Melodious. It was just it was fucking. It's god awful. I mean, it's like when you ready to eat your favorite meal, lasagna, steak, whatever the case may be, and it come out on that platter, and they take the lid off, and then you expecting to see a steak or a lasagna, and then you get a poo-poo platter. Like, no, it's repulsive. So, I mean, I might have been harsh in my reaction, but fuck it, we grown. It's like, get your shit together. Like, no,
Right.
get your shit together. And I may have used a few curse words that I'm not gonna say today, but yeah, it was bad. It was
So,
bad. They had to go. They had to leave. Let's just put it like that. They had to leave. We're not friends on Facebook.
you kicked her out, what?
Yeah, check it out. You ain't gonna be stinking up my shit for what? There is no amount of incense, no amount of knock champa that's gonna get rid of some stank. No, it doesn't work. So somebody got to go, and it wasn't gonna be me.
Shannon, I'm so concerned.
You
Kicked her out.
should not. I kicked all 3 of them out. You should not go anywhere and present yourself like you ready for some action when you not ready for action. I wouldn't do that to you. I mean, that's fucking selfish. Selfish as hell. What I'm supposed to do with your stank? No. And
I
we
gotta
too grown
agree.
for
I
that.
gotta agree with that.
Yeah, we too grown for that.
No, I said I gotta agree with that there, because if you slacking right there, you got more important stuff to be worried about. You need to handle that.
Exactly. Thank you, Miss Shannon. Yes, we are in one accord. For real. Like, come on, you can't do that. This 2000 and whatever it is, 20, and no, woman,
I would hope this was a
can't do
law,
that shit.
because there's products and advancements and things to help people stay a little fresher down there than they need to. But so, like, that's women. So, like, men, I'm like, I like not a clean shave, but I can't be swallowing a whole lot of hair. Let's put it that way. So, like, if your hair is longer than this side right here, we
Who was you sleeping with, Mowgli? Like, that's a lot of hair. Like, Come on, D. Come on, D. I know you ain't come on, D. Come on, D.
Ain't tell
Look, that's too long. That's too long, my G. Like
me.
you or to the jungle in it? Like what's going on?
Asshole. I just know that.
So
You are an asshole.
Am I? Am
also,
I?
like, deodorant is a friend in many places. I'm a firm believer in that. And one of them is down there. Get you an extra stick, rub it. I think it helps with chafing, guys. It helps with chafing too. But get a little deodorant in them little hidden spots, because by the time we go down there, I'm not saying lather your shaft with it. What I'm saying is around the balls, in the inner thighs, it reduces the scent of sweat and makes it a little bit more appealing. Like, to me, it's better than powder, because nothing is worse than getting a mouthful of powder. That's just me.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't use those powders anymore. Those things are linked into all types of cancers and whatnot. Those days are over. But the shit,
Powder.
soy, is it's the hair. You dig? It's like what you were saying about if your hair is all long, that's what keeps the funk in. So you gotta eliminate the hazard. The hazard is the hair. So I know a lot of brothers don't do this, but I do. I manscape. It's not like baby smooth like a Ken doll or nothing, but you know what I mean? It ain't no buckwheat either. Like you gotta groom yourself. You have to. That's all a part of personal hygiene. If you're gonna be, I'm single, so ain't no telling who I may meet or encounter out here in these streets. So I gotta be on point 24/7. And I'm on point 24/7. So when I pull my pants down, it ain't gonna be no it ain't gonna be no that. Ain't nobody gonna come swinging from no vines or nothing. It's gonna be. How does it feel?
So then, okay, so if personal hygiene is bad, we agree. Like, you gotta go. There is no hand in the washcloth and saying go fix yourself, get yourself. Like, it just kills the moment, right?
Right.
You don't get a second chance to make a first impression.
So, what'd you say? There's no.
I said you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. That's a first impression like a motherfucker.
So what if something's off? Okay, so let's say this. She has a cold. She's taking some antibiotics, right? Because that's known to mess up your chemistry, your inner chemistry, and it can also cause a little discharge. Some things can happen down there. So you catch her in the middle of finishing her antibiotics. You know this about her. You knew she'd been sick. She finally over it. Y'all about to get busy. You go down, and you could tell her chemistry ain't quite right. There's no second chance. I mean, to me, sometimes
No. And I tried to find a politically correct way, because really what I wanted to say was hell fuck no. There's no coming back from that. I mean, it's different if like you have a rapport with this person and y'all have a relationship and you've been there before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's different. But I'm talking like if it's somebody that you just meet and somebody that you've been kicking it to and y'all ain't never went there, and then the very first time you get this person, into the mood or whatever, and it's time to make that happen, and then there's that. No, there's no coming back from that. No.
Yeah, okay.
No for you.
No, I think
You talking to me?
and definitely on the first meet. On the first meet, the first time, and she don't have a rapport, but but what if y'all been dating for a minute and it just happened to be a little off that day? You know,
Oh, that's understandable. Yeah.
Right.
You'll work with that. You'll work with that. That's different. That's different because we all got off days. But I know when I have an off day, I sit my ass in the house. So put me on the bench, coach. Like
Right.
So she impressions matter. It would be a flat no for you too.
Yeah, the first time, nah, I can't even do it. I would not look at that person the same.
Oh wow. Okay. Listen,
I couldn't.
I'm out the game, everybody. So I'm just trying to get to the nitty gritty. I need to know if that's what it is. So okay, so this is the one, like, do you swallow?
ooh,
Right. Do you swallow?
yes.
What are you doing?
the fuck is it?
Listen, swallow. Do you up water?
This
Daryl, do you slurp it all up?
every last drop of it. God damn it, every bit of it. It's good for the soul. Shit, it's good for the soul. I'm a firm believer. That's why I stay in good health. Shit, nectar of the gods. I stay in good health.
Shannon, do you swallow?
I'm learning to.
You learn it. So
I'm learning to. Before I just couldn't. I don't know. It's a texture thing. I couldn't get it down, but now I can.
so I don't like thick liquids. Period.
Right.
Shake. I need ice in my milk. I like, if it's not water, like I have a hard time with yogurt. I think we lost Walt.
Let me see if I can get them back in.
I have a hard time with water. Do you want to pause?
Yeah, let me pause it.
We'll take a break. Wait for Walter to come back in.
All right.
All right, we back.
So I don't like thick stuff. I have a hard time with yogurt. I have a hard time with milkshakes. So for me to swallow takes a lot. It does. Why are you looking like that, Walter? It takes a lot for me to swallow. With that being said, I've become better at it. I don't gag. I don't hold it. And I don't throw it up. So like, it goes down. It takes some time. So I might have to play around with it. I might spit it back up on it and then slurp it down some more. Because I think that's so graphic. Because once that happens, so but I be like, I don't like thick stuff, Shannon. It took me a while. Thinking
It does, like,
so
right. For me, if I think about it, I can't do it.
Don't think about it, motherfucker. Just do it. Like, what's the thing about it?
No, because it's
It is. It's the whole texture of it, that thickness. If I think about it, I cannot do it. If I just do it, and then like I think about it afterwards. Oh well, till I done it now.
That's just a matter of getting more water in your system. You know what I mean? That's an easy fix. Just drink more water, and then that'll eliminate that. No, it does work. It works. I promise you.
I drink a lot of water, plenty of water.
I'm not talking about for you. I'm talking about for the guy that you trying to swallow.
Oh,
He
okay.
drink more water.
cranberry juice, pineapple juice. Drink some of that, because that stuff needs some flavor.
Right. Right.
No, it's thick.
It's not a complete song though. Like, you going in there with the wrong expectation. If you go in there thinking this is gonna be like great Kool-Aid, then yeah, you're setting yourself up for failure.
It was going to be, listen, the first time I didn't think it was going to be like great Kool-Aid, but I didn't think it was going to be that thick. And then when it's sitting there, it was kind of like, it ain't got no flavor either. Ugh, it's thick and flavorless. So that's the wrong combination. Like I said, I don't like milkshakes. Yogurt, I have a hard time with. I don't like thick stuff.
And see, like
Be the
this
nectar
goes back.
you want is thick, and I
This,
like. I worked it. I worked it. I swallow now. I'm good, but
Follow
it's
this.
expected.
but you see what I'm saying? And then there's what you said, and then there's Becky.
Yes,
Fuck.
don't think about it. Her and Karen don't think twice about it.
At
At
all.
all.
And
At all.
them heifers make me sick. First of all,
Why though?
huh? No, listen, because I
Why?
inbred. There's a couple things that I'm a firm believer are inbred. Like black women know how to cook cornbread. White women know how to just drink the dick. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I think they mama said, "Hey, like this is what I do to your daddy. You're gonna have to do this too." Not the daddy part, but just in general. I think
Hmm.
at some point they had conversations about this. There is no conversation. Can you imagine Janet talking about sucking the dick with me? That's never gonna happen.
No,
So
no, it's not
do
gonna
you
happen.
do you see what I mean? I just don't think black women like this is an expectation that's taught to them. What we were taught though is you can be in the street, but a freak in the sheet. And they never ever explain what that was supposed to mean. Do you know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
Mhm.
expectation, like put it in your mouth, was one thing, but then what after that, there was no other explanation. It wasn't said, this is what your man might like. He might like it if you actually swallow or you played with it or you spit it back up on him and twirled your tongue around and all that other good stuff. Like nobody ever said that until it actually happened. So let's okay, which brings me into another question. So do sound effects matter? Do sound effects matter? When you doing it, do sound effects matter? Like
I think so.
Yes.
you're giving shit, does it matter? Or does it matter?
Yeah. I need a reaction. I gotta know you enjoying this. I need to know. Do I need to step it up a little bit? Do I need to back off? Or I need some feedback.
Backing off is not an option. Backing off is never an option. You go hard, take it to the fucking rack, smack glass on his ass. Like you good. Backing off is never an option.
So
Sound effects matter. Sound effects matter. Slob matters. Head
Yes.
motion matters. Hand placement matters. Throat vibration matters. Body placement matters. The way you smell matters. More so than Black Lives.
more
All that.
lives.
Losing you again. Damn.
What is wrong? We lost both.
What we got going on? Where we miss out?
We back there. No, you didn't miss out on shit. We were still laughing at your ass.
Laughing
just-
because it matters more than Black lives. Um, do sound effects matter? We've had this conversation before, so
To me, does matter. Both ways.
Yeah, it
Both.
does. Like, how do you know?
I
I mean, because you
when I
can go.
when
Go
you
ahead, D. I'm sorry.
effects, I'm thinking I like to hear the sounds and shit that you make
Mhm.
while you're doing it. I want to hear some fucking noise. I want to hear something to let me know that you into it. You know what I mean? Just don't do the shit like because I wanted and expecting you be like, hey, I'ma hit you this nigga bye. Nah, I want you to enjoy it, be into that shit. So yes, to me, you into it if you making some sounds
okay.
and your shit wet and you're slurping and you're doing all that. That turns me on. I like that. So yes, sound matters to me.
So, because we've had this conversation, and it goes both ways. Like, I want to know that you into it when you down there. Like, I want to hear the sounds. I want to. Is it bad? Because I love the facial hair, feel like if the facial hair ain't dripping, like you missed an opportunity. You didn't.
Right, exactly.
Like since we on the beard game, and everybody
Yeah.
got beard, I feel like if this much of your beard is not wet, something
You don't
happened.
know what you're doing.
You didn't know what you was doing. If only this is wet, like I'm going to push your head deeper down. Like that's how I feel. So I need to know when you get up, your beard needs to be glistening. Like I spray Afro Sheen and Jerry Curl.
Soul Glow? You want it?
I want the Soul Glow effect.
You're crazy. Oh my.
But you're right though.
Me,
You right. You right though. You right. You are 100% correct in your assessment. That's what needs to happen. Because
but I also need the
I mean,
visual.
right. Anything
That
else
tells me you
would
got in
be
it.
civilized.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what needs to happen for sure. For sure. Pay attention, gentlemen. She giving y'all the gospel. Like,
I ain't been in the game in a
Doubt.
while.
No
All
doubt.
I'm saying is if your beard ain't soaked, like you took a shower, you missed an opportunity. You better get back in there and go get yours.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
If you do it right, I guarantee you she gonna get up. She gonna go get you some water. She gonna go fix you a sandwich or get you a piece of fried chicken. Like she gonna heat up them collard greens. She gonna rub your back. She gonna be like, "What else you need before I pass out?" And you gonna be like, "Nah, ma, I straight." But really, what she doing is she trying to thank you. She done laid out your clothes for tomorrow if you staying the night. Like, like she gonna make room in her drawer for you to have some socks and underwear over there with her. Listen, if you knee deep in it, get knee deep in it. Get that beard soaking wet. That's all I'm saying. I don't care. Get your eyebrows wet too. I don't care. Just get in there. You ain't got to see. You can close your eyes and just die.
The eyebrows.
Eyebrows. Listen,
My,
listen. All I'm saying is get in there. Get wet. Give us some. So, like, okay, so then what role does porn play in oral sex? Because I think that was the first time that I saw it being done. And this and remember when the squiggly lines used to come on? Did that we just lose him?
yeah, hold on. Go.
So like okay, so then what role does porn play in the illusion of oral sex? Because I think that's the first place that I actually saw it being performed. You know, through the squiggly lines back in the day when certain channels would come on and you'd be like, oh my gosh, she got her on his ding ding. Or what is he doing between her legs? Like, I think that was my first encounter with what that would look like. So like as you grow up and you see porn, like because I think a lot of the sound effects that everybody like stem from porn and what we've seen porn actors and actresses do. So like how important is porn in the role of oral sex?
It don't matter to me. I don't really care for it. No, I don't really care for it.
Okay, so you don't watch porn like that then?
Nah.
Oh, Shannon was like, I freelance, baby girl.
I mean, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like before, when I first got introduced to it, like you, first time I saw it was on porn. But then after that, I'm just like, no, I got my own techniques.
Right.
Yeah.
D, what about you?
Like most of us, my first, kind of noticing anything about oral sex was through porn, and I hung with a lot of older people too that would kind of talk about it. And I guess when you look at it through that lens, then I think that's probably why men expect, those who like the sound effects anyway, kind of expect to hear that because that's what we've seen. That's what we've seen. That's how you do it. That's how you're supposed to get down. And she's apparently enjoying herself.
Right.
Yeah. So I think if I was being honest, yeah, for me, I think that's probably why I like sound effects like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like because even to this day, I don't like no silent porn. I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's yeah. What's the point of that? So it kind of yeah. So if I was being honest, sure, yeah, porn probably played a big role in shaping how I view oral sex.
And see, I think for me, when you watch porn, I just think it's overacting. Like, and I
It's yeah.
it's the illusion of what it should be. Like, so my expectations are never like quite that way. I never looked at it and was like, oh, like that's the only way that it has to be done, or that's the right way to do it. I always thought it was a lot of overacting. There is not possibly any way like that many sounds can come from a woman going down on a man like that until you try it. Until you try it, and then you,
Right.
Yes,
well,
get it.
well, until you try it, and then you're like, oh my god, like, and I'm not faking it, but I can actually make those sounds and get that type of reaction. So was it a guide? I guess yes, but to think the seeing the porn shots is so over overrated and so overacted. It's so extra to me. It's
I would
extra.
agree with that. I think I can agree with that. Yeah, that's what it is. It's entertainment. So
Hmm.
they are actors and actresses. So it's just all part of the show. But it creates that fantasy that what people like to see.
Right.
So
Yep.
that, that's why it warps. It does have a tendency to warp how we view sexual activities with the rest of the world. So
Hmm.
if you watch porn like abundantly, yeah, you're gonna have a kind of twisted way of what sexual interaction really is and
Right.
how it really should be.
So last question that I had is like, is it a deal breaker not in like giving oral sex? Is it a deal breaker in a relationship?
No, not for me. It's not.
Okay.
It's not for me. Okay, so and when I say that, a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy when I say that. And the reason why I say it is because I'm one of those, I can actually get off from giving. I don't necessarily have to receive. And there are some times where, hey, let me suck your dick. That's just me. But
Hmm.
when I do get it, I love it, especially if it's done right.
Right. Right. Like, I think nothing is worse than like someone who's willing to give but can't do it right.
Okay,
Right.
so
Like, it's like, do I teach you or do I stop you? Because like like ooh like because when that happens, it's like I don't really have the time to invest unless you're somebody special. In the past, if I didn't have the time to invest that in you to show you how to love me and how I wanted to be touched, then look, like, no, like, so I would rather be the giver and not necessarily have to receive. And I remember being with someone who was horrible, like horrible at it, but he always wanted to. And it drove me crazy because I felt like I had to sit there and experience this horribleness that was happening to me.
teach them.
Well, first of all, it wasn't
Yeah.
gonna last. It wasn't because it wasn't gonna last. It wasn't gonna, and it didn't last because I've been married for 21 years, so it didn't last. But the point is, like, it wasn't a deal breaker, but I felt like the more that it went on, because it was so many times that I kept saying, like, no, you don't have to. But then it was like, oh, okay, go ahead. And then I would cringe the whole time, like, oh my God, this sucks. This sucks. Let me just suck you off, dude. Let me just suck you off and let's be done. So that would be how I would like handle the situation. But it's not a deal breaker. But I feel like once you've experienced something really good, you kind of want it.
Right.
I feel like if I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be an awesome giver, then I wanna receive my gift also. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a deal breaker. Luckily I don't have to train nobody no more. But like
you got Robert Melodious. You got Rover. You went through training school.
I did, dog. I did.
My man, that's what you supposed to do. Like when you give a damn about that woman, like you want to know what turns her on and what excites her and how to take her there.
No,
you not.
So I got a question for you ladies, because y'all both said it when y'all was explaining yourselves to the question. So Sliz, back. The question was, oral sex a deal breaker? If a person doesn't want to give oral sex, is a deal breaker in a relationship for you? I'm gonna let you answer that in a second, but I got a follow-up question for the lady. And that is,
okay.
So y'all both mentioned if he ain't doing it the right way. What is the right way for you? Is that different for every woman? Is it the same? So what is it for you? What is right? I want y'all to explain that.
it's different for every woman.
Well,
Because,
hey, look,
no,
what's right for you?
listen, because with the makeup down there, the nerve endings is so sensitive. Like you got to know how to touch. And so like, okay, and you got to know how to work like your tongue and your lips. And first of all, I don't want you chewing on me. I'm not a chew toy. Like the bad experience, the chewer. And I'd be like, ow, like you're hurting. He wasn't.
The silence of the clams right there. Oh man, what y'all do that for?
Oh, it wasn't just that he nibbled like on my clitoris. He nibbled everything. Like my it was just horrible. It was horrible. So because the nerve endings are so sensitive. So I need you to it's first of all, it's a precious gift right there. So you need to treat it as a gentle gift and let me guide you through my sounds and my body motions on where it is exactly I need you to lick, touch, or suck. And hell, finger or whatever else. But I lead by that direction. And the aggressiveness that you take, you follow my lead. And then I will then direct you again. But every woman is different down there. Like, so when I talk to my girlfriends, some of them don't want to be sucked. Like they just want you to lick in one spot, sit and get off. But it's different for everybody. But like for me, like you need to start off slow and you need to listen to how my body is responding to you and then follow my lead. Because like, I don't know, 21 years, you ain't been disappointed. So you know what I mean? Follow my lead. I will show you what it is that I want and how I want to be touched and how aggressively I want you to do it.
Okay. Miss Shannon, you got anything to add to that?
No, I agree with 100%. But then see me, like when you're doing it, I don't like the whole fingers and stuff like that. I need all tongue action. Like that's what I need.
Greedy as hell, ain't you?
No, I'm not greedy. I'm just saying if you're gonna do it, that's just what I need. Just like if I'm doing you, I expect you to, you know what I'm saying, like tell me what you need and I got you.
Like not a finger at all, like nothing.
I mean, I like it, but not a lot of it.
Just like handcuff the motherfucker to the headboard and like what, like the gimp and shit. Like what you doing to this? What's going on in your house though? Like, man, let's get comfortable. Let's get acquainted. Like, how you doing, dude? Motherfuckers
How
come up
am
in your
I doing?
yo, how you doing them?
How am I? I mean, I don't know. It just happens. And me, I mean, a little finger actually is okay, but I don't need too much of it. I don't want to feel the your fingers overpowering your tongue.
Get that, Shannon. I get that because some men are more finger, like they
Right,
two,
right.
these three is gonna like make it work. And sometimes you like, nah, baby. Like I just like I could have did that myself.
Right.
I need your tongue right now to caress some things. I get that, Shannon. I get it. Like they be like, these three.
Yeah.
So just know when y'all link up with Miss Shannon G, she gonna wrap your ass in saran wrap. Like there's no hands. I'm not knocking your hustle. I'm just trying to understand. That's all. I'm not knocking you. I get it because I don't want no hands on me either per se.
She treating you
Right.
like Dexter out there.
Yeah, just know you in for a rough night.
All right, so
Right.
Hunter, what about you then?
is it a deal breaker if
Yes,
you want to get in a relationship and she don't do oral sex? Is that a deal breaker?
that's not happening. That's not happening at all. Like, you know, we in our 40s, mid 40s, damn near 50. You dig? So I know what I want at this point in my life, and not getting head is not in the equation. So if that's what you about, then I guess we'll just be like Instagram buddies, but I probably won't even hit you up on that shit. Like, yeah, it's a deal breaker, sure. I mean, cause I do that. I enjoy that myself. I enjoy giving that, and it's a good way to take breathers. It's a good way to watch Sports Center. Like you can go ahead and do whatever. Wait, what? Where did I lose y'all? Right?
No,
It's
you
word.
didn't. Like, well, I'm
Hey,
get down there, girly.
Yeah. I mean, this chick was like, "Why you always gotta watch this stuff? Why you always gotta watch this?" I'm like, "Shut up, lay your ass down." Laid her ass down, turned on Sports Center, ate her pussy out. She watched Sports Center to this day. That shit was like 13 years ago.
Mm-mm-mm.
You think I'm lying? I ain't bullshitting. So, I mean, that's what it is. Like, that's a good way to get what you want out of life.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again.
I said that's gonna be a memory she'll always have. Why do you watch
Yeah.
Center? Because I got a nice little treat last time I watched Sports Center.
Yeah, done, motherfucker. You gonna bust a nut. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it's gonna be. So, yeah, it's definitely a deal breaker for me. I mean, because that's all a part of the intimacy on some real shit, on some G shit. Like that's intimacy. Like, that's all the connection. There's no part of a female's anatomy that my tongue hasn't touched. So why the fuck would I short myself? Your tongue gonna touch me every way. And yeah, definite deal breaker to those of you who do not. You shorten yourself too.
Mr. Lewis, Mr. D. Lewis, what about you? Would it be a deal breaker if oral sex was off the table?
yes, for sure. Yes, because I feel the same way. Because I'm gonna do it. I do it. I enjoy it. I just, I feel it should be reciprocal. You know what I mean? We are in a relationship. In a relationship with a woman, and this is what I want to do. I feel that that those same feelings need to be reciprocated. You know what I mean? I also believe these are questions that probably need to be asked up front.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking saucy and shit, when we talking saucy, like, yeah, blah, 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 do you suck the dick? You can ask me, hey, do you lick the pussy? And if you say no, you ain't sucking the dick, we got to reapproach how we doing this relationship because I don't think we going nowhere. For sure.
It's not very far.
It's sexual
That's
experience.
for sure. Like
What you say, Walt? Not very far.
not very far. Like where you gonna go with somebody that ain't down for that ride? Like
No,
next stop,
nowhere. We too grown.
is nowhere. It's done. That's how you end up getting stepped out on. That's how you end up. So I mean, so you might as well just go ahead and it's so dope. It's so mind blowing. Like when the person knows what they're doing and you're in tune. I mean, like, God, I'm reliving some shit right now. Like,
See, so I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna bring you back. Like,
Real quick.
so I don't know who she was, but he was thinking about you, girl. So
yeah, God damn, fuck that all up.
oral sex ever. Best oral sex ever. Where was it? What do you? What's best oral sex ever?
Oh, man.
Yes.
I gotta think on that one.
Yeah, think on that one.
Okay, well then I don't. So I guess I'm going first. The best ever.
Best ever.
The best ever. Oh my God. So it came from a sister. You'll be happy to know.
All
Young
right.
broad though. Young broad. And I was telling my mom about how dope her head game was. It was like, I mean, she was flawless. Her approach, her technique. She never took her eyes off you. Just did it like she loved me, if that makes sense. She would
Mm-hmm.
she would accept my organ, my member, like I knew that shit was real. Like I could feel it. It was the connection. It was existential. You know what I mean? Like the shit was magnificent. So I would take this young lady. I was 26. She was 20. Snatched her out the strip club. D, you'd have loved it, man, but you had already bounced. So I'm telling you, yo, young, rugged, just thorough. Love that girl to this day. So yeah, and you know, we would take these little trips up to Toronto and Niagara Falls, Canada, all that stuff. We hit all those little areas. So there is this butterfly conservatory up in Niagara Falls, and she broke me off in there. Now, mind you, she had already had that, you know, what's the right superlative to use? Her shit was exquisite. So we had already had that type of dynamic going on.
Mhm.
But then to have to go down like that and a butterfly, like butterflies flying all around you, are you getting some dome?
So
What could
listen.
be
This
better than that?
how I feel. I felt like I was in Love Jones when she was like, "Damn," like he
Yeah.
rubbed your. Damn, girl.
Yeah. It was one of those. Like with butterflies though.
Like you were like, "Fly, little butterfly, go on, butterfly."
Yeah, like what could be better than that? Like really, all you needed was to like be on the back of a dragon or some shit. Like there's nothing that could be better than that.
Wow. Mr. Lewis, D. Lou, best oral sex ever.
Best oral sex ever was great.
Careful, nigga.
What'd you say? He need to be careful. What do you say? I got knives. And
Real kitchen.
Wait a minute. I don't think we heard. Say.
Best head ever. Granny's crib.
Oh.
And that was the best head job ever to me because that's the first time I came in your mouth. Now that was the most beautiful ever. Because it was.
Granny's house a lot. Like that whole weekend, I think you were like a lot of firsts happened that weekend for you.
I married to Granny's crib that weekend. It was a wrap for me.
Well, thank you, Granny, for being out of town that weekend. And Esther, how's it?
Yeah.
Nasty motherfucker. All up in your grandmama's crib. Splash, splash.
Did it over that fucking house, man. That house was never the same after that. The house. And he was home. I was like, yeah. If you only knew, Granny.
And hopefully she won't know, or else.
Motherfucker, she gonna know.
You gonna learn today.
Best oral sex ever?
You talking to me?
Yes.
Okay, so I had to think about it for a second, but the best oral sex ever, believe it or not, came from a woman.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
She does not surprise me though, because nobody knows how to love another woman in that way
Yes.
better than another woman.
Yes, it did. It came from a woman, and that was the one time it felt like I literally felt my soul leave my body.
Good Lord.
Yes, it was one of those.
Damn.
Her and hers.
Yo, but I got some beef though. I got some beef though, cause I want to try to cape up for the brothers, those of us who do, look at themselves as connoisseurs of the head.
You breaking out, Walter.
Oh, okay. What I'm trying to say is, I appreciate you, Shannon, for sharing your experience with us with the woman. So I guess I got a question for you. Like, what made what that woman did to you different than what a man does to you? Like, what was different about the experience?
You with us, Shannon? Did we lose Shannon?
Shannon on mute.
What you doing, Shannon? You on mute? I can see you. Let me pause it.
Oh, we lost Shannon.
She coming. All right. Yeah, I won't pause it. We'll just edit that out.
Shannon, did you hear what Walt said?
Did you hear his question for you, Shannon? I don't know if she really back all the way back.
Got me.
Mm-mm.
She was in her car, so maybe she hit a dead spot.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Shannon, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this.
Paul.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I had to plug it up to the charger for a second.
Walt had a question for you, baby girl. So
Okay,
go
what's the question?
ask the question again.
Okay. So you were saying how your experience with the woman was the best. The question to you humbly is, what made that experience the best, better than what a man could do for you?
That was my first time ever with the woman, and so I guess it was just like the sensual, like the touch, the chemistry that we had, like, and then too, it was like we were sneaking and doing it too, so I guess the whole thrill of it.
It was taboo.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
First.
Okay. That does make sense.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because it's always happening when you want some shit you ain't got the business, right?
Right. Yep.
For sure.
It's always better.
Uh,
That's why I love those Muslim chicks.
hey,
It's my
Lou,
What you say, Walter?
Huh?
what'd he say?
Say it again.
I said that's why I love those Muslim chicks. Yo, those East Indian, those Middle Eastern, Pakistani, and Iraqis. They man.
They get
You
it.
saying up under all that covering?
Yeah, because they daddies hate, black people. They hate us. And that's the last thing they want for their daughters is to have a motherfucker like me between their legs. But when it does happen,
Good Lord.
I get it.
All right, Miss.
It does happen, boy.
Of them I have to deal with.
I see.
Miss A,
So,
was your turn. Best oral ever.
best oral sex ever. I am going to take you back to Granny's house because I think that was actually, no, it wasn't Granny's house. It was Auntie Wanda's house with the strawberries. It was a strawberry weekend. And I think I had finally got Daryl. So, okay, let's do some true confessions, Daryl. Was I your first?
Yes.
Okay. And I think I knew that. And I think we got to the point where you finally understood what I needed was the night with the strawberries.
First what?
Huh?
Was you his first what?
The first time he had a little pussy in his mouth.
You ain't never eat no pussy before that?
Nah.
Didn't I tell you eat some pussy before that?
What'd you say?
Didn't I tell you eat some pussy before pool?
Yeah.
But you never did it?
I ain't listen, nigga. I was
Yo, that's why I'm tripping though. It's like we had that conversation, what, in like 93, 94?
Oh hell no, it wasn't happening with none of them bitches. Nah. Nah, none of them high school bitches, man. No.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's real.
Whoa.
That's real talk.
When I said there was some first for him.
Going on confessions and you tripping. My very first time, because that wasn't the first time with the strawberries. The very first time was at his house. It was at Wanda's house as well, but I was scared and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
But I didn't say it was the first time. What I said, it was the first time that you understood what I needed.
Yeah.
And was the night of the strawberries.
Night of the strawberries. But yes, Liz, she was the very first time. Guess I had to use. I went to the kitchen and got some syrup and shit, because I was like, I don't know how this shit gonna taste, nigga. I'm a.
Teeth was sticky and shit.
Right. This dude went and got some Mrs. Butterworth. Was it Alaga? Did you get the Alaga syrup?
Yo, I'm just being real. I'm just.
Oh. You ain't eat no pussy till damn near the new millennium?
Huh?
You ain't eat no pussy till damn near the new millennium?
No, nigga, that was like, what, 97, 8?
That's damn near the new millennium. This shit happened in 2000.
Like 97, 96 maybe.
Yeah, maybe 96.
Yeah, 96.
Told you. Hey, but was it? But
a whole lot of pussy. Walter have a heart attack.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you why he tripping, because me and this dude was like, yo, we was out of there. Yo, we had so many girls that wanted to get with us and that did get with us. And you must have been licking the pussy. I just wasn't. Now I was getting it, but I wasn't, I said 68 and I owe you one, nigga.
yeah. Okay, Grandpa, I feel you, but still, like, man,
Who you want?
that's shocking to me, Miss AA, because I just thought my brother was, I thought he was doing that, yo. Because
Mm-mm.
what you
There,
so crazy came out what, like 91, 92, somewhere around there.
Who?
there were
So that was like half a decade where this dude was just deceiving me. Like, I don't know how to feel.
there was
I never said I did. I ain't deceive you, nigga.
y'all just never talked about it. See,
And
this is why you need to have these honest conversations to get stuff out in the open. But
Right.
listen, there was a lot of firsts that happened between me and him, which I appreciate that I was the first for a lot of things with him.
well, don't forget either how young I was. For those who don't know, AA is older than I am. So I was still really young when we first got together. What was I, 19, 18, 19 years old?
No, don't even make me be like I'm a molester. It's not breastfeeding you, boy. You shut up.
No, I'm not
No, because
much older.
you was able to go to the bar. You was able to drink. So you might have been like 21.
I thought yeah, 21. Let's say he was 21. This nigga about to make me seem like
13, niggas. That
but going into the bar, you were old enough to go out.
bars when I was 19.
Listen,
Yeah, you was
he
probably
was
like
a little baby.
20 when you got together.
So I was probably about 20.
Yeah, probably about 20.
19, early 20.
Right. Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Lord, he was not. I refuse to believe you were in the teens.
Okay, probably not the teens. Let's say 20. No, I wasn't in the teens.
Girl, I was like, come on, let mama show you what to do.
She just burped your ass.
No,
You just burped your ass.
you was burping me and shit. That's all right. That's all right though.
Whoa.
I ain't ashamed. I don't give a fuck.
That was like the first.
Still was the best decision I ever made.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Shit.
But no, it was definitely strawberry
Yeah.
night.
Okay,
So
so strawberry night.
what is the one thing, last question, literally, last question. What's the one thing that you know if you put or do this, you're going down or you're about to do something? Some shit about to pop off if you do this one thing. What is it? Like when you're with that other person and you do this, you do X. What's the one, how do you know it's about to pop off?
Mm. Sliz.
There is no one thing.
You don't have like a one,
And
you know, if you do it, it's about to pop off. No?
no, I mean, because then that would mean there is no individuality, right? There's no uniqueness to anyone. If you can just look at a person a certain way and then it works on the next person, like there's certain things I can do with like my son's mother that I can't do with whoever I'm with today.
Okay.
And there's certain things that I can, there's that's why you got to have a repertoire of shit, and you try shit out, and what works on one person is just like eating a pussy. Like if I was to, what works for you doesn't work for Shannon, and what works for Shannon doesn't necessarily work for you. And it's the
Okay.
same thing with your G game. Is everything don't work for everybody,
Right.
but everything works.
Right. Miss Shannon, anything for you? Do you know it's gonna pop off?
I can't really say that there's one thing that I do that's gonna make it pop off. It's just, I mean, before it does, it's a known fact. I mean, we're gonna be done discussed it, and it is what it is.
Be getting right to the shits. Is that
Right, yeah, I don't believe in wasting time.
Hey, house to clean, kids, and dinner to cook. No, we ain't wasting time. Mr. D, what's up with you? Any one thing that you know you do that's about to pop?
a certain way? And you know, get
True.
shit is getting real.
So that's true. And then for me, like this is how I know it's gonna pop off. If I have lip gloss out and I actually put it on, because I happen to know like this drives him crazy. Anytime I have like
You're just gonna do that shit for the whole world.
any,
Boss D.
Right, look, you get ready.
no, right? And he noticed, he be like, oh, it's about to pop off because she done greased up the lips. And the color, it's like, he be like, she gonna leave it all the evidence right on me. I be like, it's about to pop off. I put the lip gloss on, what's up? So that's the one thing, like we've been married for like 21 years, people. That's my go-to. Like without a word, I could be in the kitchen frying chicken. I put the lip gloss on. He come in the kitchen. He be like, "Oh shit, fried chicken and some liquor." He was like, "I'm there." Empty fried chicken and liquor in the kitchen. I'm doing it all. So that's what happens. Get yourself
That's
up.
that's beautiful. I'm happy for y'all. That's beautiful.
Oh, what the hell I need it.
Whole world just out there like that. You just look at your lips. Hey,
It's just lip gloss, D. Calm down, dog.
we about to get in on Zoom, niggas.
Wait,
Yep.
unless you're paying.
Yeah.
Well, listen, this has been a very fun, interesting conversation. And the Green Room is officially, the Urban Green Room is officially christened. It's officially been christened because we kicked it off with talking about a topic that's normally taboo. And we had some pure honesty, some pure fun. And I think the conversation needs to continue. So leave a comment. Let us know. Go to our webpage, urbangreenroom.net. Leave a comment on the episode. Tell us what you like. Tell us, the white versus black conversation. What's your favorite memory of oral sex? Is it a deal breaker if the other party doesn't want to participate in those types of activities?
Hell
Let us know how you're feeling. But more importantly, continue the conversation. So, D, any last thoughts that you want to add?
Y'all better do that shit. I'm telling you right now, niggas out there, men, do the shit. You gotta do it. You got to do it, dog. And for you ladies out there, y'all better learn. You better learn. Teach how to do it. Your teacher, right? So
Yeah.
it's a part of sex. It's natural. It's fun. It's fan. So let's stop making this shit so taboo. Let's do it.
I want to thank our guests, Shannon and Walt, for joining us for the conversation. Shannon, I hope I did not scare you too bad.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Thank you for having me.
Are more than welcome. No, thank you for joining us for this conversation, especially on short notice. And then Walt, I think I officially made your day today when I made the call. So I hope it lived up to the hype.
It absolutely did. And just so that you know, whenever y'all have the threesome conversation, I would like to be a panelist on that conversation as well.
The threesome. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I've heard some of his stories.
Yeah.
Like literally, he will be on the panel for the threesome conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know if my virgin ears are ready for that, but we'll
Your virgin ears.
Conversation.
Cool.
Okay, Miss Strawberries with your virgin ears.
Hey now. So hey, follow us, like us, Leave a comment. The Urban Green Room. We are officially in effect and having real honest conversations. This shit, yeah, we're about the shits here. So stay tuned. We got more topics coming your way. Thank you, Watt and Shannon. Have a great evening, everyone. This is
Thank
us
you, everyone.
breaking out.
Thank you for tuning into the Urban Green Room podcast. Let's keep the conversation going. Hit us up at urbangreenroom.net or on our Facebook or IG page.
I always follow them.
Tell us what you think about today's conversation. If there's a topic you want to discuss, let us know. And by all means, tell a friend. The Urban Green Room podcast, giving you something to talk about. Until next time, we out.